I knew in that moment I would never be the same. It was completely transformative. Today we're going to be talking about something very near and dear to my heart, and that is how energy healing can help you overcome anxiety. Hello, beautiful, and welcome to KTV. My name is Katie Hunt, and I am a spiritual life coach for the intuitive girls, gays, and theys. And today we are going to be asking the question, can energy healing or energy management help me overcome anxiety? In short, hell yes. And today we're going to talk about it. Let me start off by saying that if you suffer from anxiety, my heart goes out to you. Anxiety is such a tricky bugger and it is so complex. So please only take what resonates with you from this video and just leave the rest. I am by no means saying that I am an expert in any way, and I am not a doctor. I know, shocker, look at this outfit. But I can only speak from my experience and my experience overcoming anxiety and depression in my own life. And these are the same things that I instruct my clients to do when they are experiencing anxiety and depression. So if these things resonate with you and speak to you, you can absolutely integrate them into your existing practices and medication and all those other things. But if you are somebody who really suffers from anxiety or depression or something else that's really taking a toll of your life, please, please, please get help. There is absolutely no shame in it. And even in the last few years, it is so much less destigmatized than it used to be. And there is so much help available to us, even really affordable help like BetterHelp, things like that. So like I said, I am not a doctor. I am just somebody who has experienced anxiety and depression most of their life. And these are some things that worked for me. So with that being said, let's get into it. Can energy healing help me with anxiety? Yes. In my experience, at least, yes. Think about energy healing or energy management like hygiene. We walk around collecting grime and dirt all day, and we gotta go home and shower so that we don't start to smell and don't start to get sick. Well, it's the same thing with our energy. We walk around all day collecting nonsense from all sorts of people. We collect trauma from the news and the media, and we collect anger and thought forms and all sorts of other stuff that begins to cloud our energy and our brains and our emotions and our mindset. So if we're not clearing those things out, we have no space for peace to enter in, or insight, or happiness, or joy, or anything like that. We just keep filling our cup. And if there's no way for us to express it, we can start to do it in some pretty unhealthy ways, like emotional dumping. We just dump on our friends, or we act out in crazy ways that don't really fulfill who we actually are and don't make us feel good. So instead of acting out, we can get ahead of those things by managing our energy, which is what we are here to talk about today. So I'd like to now tell you a story of my life. And like I said, this topic is deeply personal to me because this is the story of how energy healing and energy management practices helped me to basically overcome my anxiety. So this is a personal story. Trigger warnings ahead. It's not that bad, but just in case. But know that this is no way trying to say that this is the only thing that will work for you. I know that it's very complex and very diverse for different people, but it might be something that helps you either decide to engage in some sort of energy healing or energy management, or maybe brings you to some other insight that can really help you to manage your anxiety. So that being said, let's get started into my story. I was a very anxious and depressed person most of my life. Like I was that 4-year-old who took things way too seriously, and I was pretty depressed my whole life. I always had suicidal tendencies and really bad depression. So when I was 22, I kind of hit my rock bottom. And I'm going to spare you the details of what that meant, but as a stereotypical rock bottom it usually is, it's filled with lots of depression and confusion and substance abuse. And I was friends with people who were not on a right path. My body started to fall apart, which was very confusing because I was only 22 years old and I was feeling completely lost among a million other emotional traumas that I was dealing with at the time. A friend had told me a little while ago that she was seeing somebody for Reiki and angel card readings and all of that stuff. And at the time, I thought it was complete BS. I didn't believe in any of this stuff. And I kept like putting it off and putting it off. She said, you got to go see this person. They're amazing. And I said, yeah, whatever, one day. So one final day, I finally hit my rock bottom, and I was sitting in the back of my friend's car and I was just looking out the window and just had a really rare moment of clarity where I went, there has to be more than this. My life isn't over already. I'm only 22 years old. I know nothing about the world. There's so much more that I have no idea. I've tried all sorts of other things to help me and nothing has worked. Why not give it a shot? So I called my friend up. I asked for the information for my Reiki healer, and my life was never the same. So to say that my life was transformed on that table would have been a complete understatement. I knew in that moment I would never be the same. It was completely transformative. I could feel energy moving in my body for the first time. I had somebody outside of myself telling me things about myself that I had never even said out loud. I had somebody telling me that I was worthy and that I was wonderful and that I have this whole team of spiritual guides and teachers here to help me live this crazy life. This person had told me that I was a very sensitive person to energy and that I have been feeling this way because I walk around absorbing everybody else's stuff. I bawled my eyes out on that table in the best way. I had the most incredible emotional release. Up until that point, I had locked down. I remember the day that I did it. I froze my emotions. I would shove everything intentionally all the way down because I was too sensitive for the world. I had to never feel my emotions in order to survive. And going to this session brought all of these things back up to the surface. But it wasn't scary because there was somebody there who was guiding me through it and was holding a container of love so that all of this stuff that I had been shoving down for years could finally resurface and exit. After this experience, my life was forever changed. I got off the table and I realized that for the very first time in my life, I didn't have a pit of anxiety in my belly. I didn't even know that I had felt as terrible as I did until I felt better. I felt peace. I had no thoughts happening in my head that were destructive. And for the very first time, probably in my life, I had hope that my future could look a lot more like this than what my past had looked like. Well, after this experience, I began to become a sponge. I started looking into everything that I could about this other world that I had pushed down for so long. I tried all sorts of different tools and techniques and all sorts of different modalities to figure out what was best for me. And I was just obsessed with curating this information. I became obsessed with needing to share this message with the world. I can't believe that people go their whole life without some sort of energy healing or energy management. And I knew in that moment that if I could feel this great, that I needed to do my part to share this message with the world so that other people don't have to walk around with these pits in their stomach just like I was. So that has led me here to you today. I am here to share my message and to share my experience with you in hopes that maybe energy clearing or energy management is the tool that you need in order to help you with all the other things you're doing to manage your anxiety. Or maybe it's going to give you some sort of insight that you can go and try something different that you haven't experienced before. Because I was so close-minded to energy healing, I feel like it was my ego's way of keeping me safe in a box and keeping me locked into a place that was safe but wasn't really fulfilling. So when I finally listened to my intuition to go to this person to help me, that is when I really became clear on who I really was. I could feel that I was so much more than my physical body and my depression and my anxiety. And I want the same thing for you. I want you to know that you have so much help available to you. Yes, in the physical world, even if it doesn't feel like it, but you also have an entire team of spiritual beings who are here to help you become the best you and help you to get through all these challenging times. Life on earth can be really, really hard to deal with, and it can be really tough to get up every day and do it all over again. But there are so many things that you can do to help yourself to manage your life, and some of those things might look like boundaries, or maybe it is these energy healing techniques. So all that being said, let's talk about some energy healing, energy clearing, and energy management tools that you can try that will helpfully help you manage your anxiety, because these are what really helped me manage my anxiety the most. What I probably should have mentioned first is that energy does what we tell it to do. And that's the beauty of energy clearing modalities and practices, is because we can actually use our minds and our intention to drive the energy that we want to feel. It sometimes isn't enough for us to say, I'm letting this anxiety go, but we can intentionally bring on other feelings that can help us to release the anxious feelings and the anxious thoughts. First up is breathing. And when I say that, I know that there is resistance there, because you're like, bitch, I breathe all the time. Okay, intentionally breathing. You know when somebody says, like, take a deep breath, and then you do it and you actually feel better? That, even to this day, still shocks me. I'm like, oh, I'm really stressed out, and then I stop and actually take a breath, and then suddenly things are better. So you can use the breath to help to slow down your brain, to help you come back into your body and to let go of the anxiousness that you are feeling. When we're in anxiety or depression, I'm sure you've heard the adage that when you're in anxiety, you're thinking about the future, and when you're in depression, you're thinking too much about the past. But where we can use to help heal those things is to come into the present moment, and we do that by focusing on the breath. So what you can do is you can just stop, and you can do this anywhere. Put your hand on your chest or just breathe normally and just start counting your breath. The most optimal breath counting is 5.5. So that is kind of an awkward number. So you can just count slowly to 5 or to 6, whatever feels better for you. And just breathing in and breathing out. You're not holding or restricting. Sometimes what I'll do too is just take a really big deep breath in and hold it and create tension in my body. And then I'll let it go. And what you'll find is that when you intentionally create tension in your body, when you breathe out and you let go and you relax, you're actually able to relax even further. So you can release some of that tension and anxiety that you're holding on to by making it worse for a moment intentionally, and then releasing and letting go. Hope that makes sense. So you can count your breath. Like I said, you can count to 5 or 4 or 6 or whatever it is that makes you feel good. Another way that you can integrate the breath in really easy terms, and we're not even talking meditation at this point, just breathing differently, breathing more intentionally, taking deep breaths, focusing on the breath when you start to get overwhelmed or panicked or sad or depressed, focusing on the breath, allowing yourself to focus on the present moment so that the anxious thoughts can kind of slow down and seep to the back of your brain a little bit. So if numbers aren't really your thing, counting's not really your thing, you can also use like mantra, or you can say affirmations. So one thing that I want to share with you right now is that you are meant to live in peace. You're meant to live in alignment, but our human condition kind of makes it a little bit more challenging, but not impossible. We just have to get a little bit more intentional when we want to get into alignment. So what I want to teach you today is I want you to inhale and think, I am meant, and on your exhale, to be at peace. And I want you to imagine it almost, you can imagine it like a figure 8 or like a circle. And I just want you to breathe that in like, I am meant to be at peace. And you can circulate it through your body if you really want, or you can just think those things. And if that's too complicated, you can just inhale, think peace, exhale, think love. What we're doing is we're connecting our bodies and our minds to our breath. Helps us to bring us into the present moment, helps us to welcome in the peace and to let go of whatever is not serving you. So play around with that, try different breathing techniques. It doesn't have to look like meditation. It can just be intentionally breathing in. You can go outside and just breathe in some fresh air. If you like colors, you can imagine you're breathing in yellow light. Get creative and just trust yourself. And if something feels good with your breath, then keep at it. And if you want to dive a little further into the breath work, meditation will be great for you. Meditation absolutely transformed my life. When I started meditating, I could only meditate for like 30 seconds to 2 minutes, like not even kidding. And my brain was a very scary place to be. And now I love meditation and I do it every single day, multiple times a day. But for you, you can explore different types of meditation. You can do traditional Eastern philosophy, or you can do the colonial version of it in the Western world, or you can do a mix. Whatever it is, just make sure that you're enjoying your meditation. Get creative and just try different things and see what works for you. And what works for you on Monday may not be the thing that you want to do on Friday. And that is totally okay. You also don't have to start meditating at like 20 minutes. You can start with like 2 minutes like I did, or 5 minutes. The intention of this is to just create a habit for you to have a moment to get into alignment with yourself, just like the breath. To help you with this, I have created an ultimate energy clearing meditation that I have attached in the description box below this. Make sure that you go and collect that. It is absolutely free. It has been designed to help to relieve anxiety specifically. It will help to alleviate a lot of that pressure. And if meditation is something that you want to explore, guided meditation can be a great way to start. You can do guided meditations like the one in my description box below. You can try focusing on mantra and chanting, or you can focus on bowls, whatever it is. Just try different types of meditation. And if you are looking for one that is absolutely effective, you can get one for free just by clicking the link below. So the third energy management technique that you can use to manage your anxiety is yoga and intuitive movement. Nowadays, we have so many different kinds of yoga, and I'm sure no matter who you are, you can find a brand of yoga that fits your style perfectly. But we can go further from yoga and focus on intuitive movement. Maybe you like to dance, or maybe walking is your thing. But just like the breath, we want to intentionally move within our body. The thing that I loved about yoga so much was that I was able to easily and quickly come into a peaceful alignment because I was connecting my breath to the body. Exercise and body movement is a great way for us to get out of our heads and actually exert energy and thoughts and emotions out of our body. So intentional movement should also be something that you very much enjoy. It doesn't have to look like the gym. It doesn't have to look like a structured yoga class if that's not your vibe. Again, this is all meant to serve you, so make sure that you're enjoying it. And if you're not, then try something else. The fourth tool for energy management that I have used and use to this day is a golden shower. Not that kind of golden shower, you sicko. Think actual shower with golden liquid light. So this golden shower you can do in your actual shower if you want. Imagine that there is light coming out of your faucet or energy healing or whatever it is that you feel like you need the most, showering down all over your body, clearing you, cleansing you, cleaning you of all the lower vibrational energies that you're feeling, all of the anxiety and panic and negative thoughts. And just imagine it shedding from you and going down into the drain and off to Mother Earth where she can transmute it and use it for food. While you're watching all of these things go down the drain, you can also imagine your life that you want to step out of the shower. Now, this is called the quantum leap. And people do it all the time in different ways, but you can do this every single day if you want. You can jump to a higher timeline. So what you're doing is you're imagining as you're in the shower these things clearing from you, and you're really imagining the life that you want, and you're feeling the emotions of that life, and like a life filled with peace. We want to use positive indicators, not saying I have no anxiety. It's saying I'm so peaceful. I'm so happy with who I am. I'm so whole, and I'm so clear-minded. And all of the other things that you want in your life, you're going to imagine these things, and then once you're ready, as you get out, you are intending to step into that timeline. So that's just like a little extra bonus. You don't have to do that. The light shower is plenty. If you aren't currently in the shower and you like the idea of the golden shower, what I do a lot of the time is I imagine like a golden sun right above my head. And this golden sun is from the divine, and it just is coming down and showering all around me and in me this beautiful golden healing light that helps to clear all of the same things. And it's just a mental intention that helps you to actually clear your energy. And our last energy healing modality that I would like to discuss with you today is Reiki. Now, there are so many other types of healing modalities other than just Reiki, but I am a 5-time Reiki master. So that's what we are going to focus on today. My transformative experience was with a Reiki healer. So that was my first exposure to this incredible world. And it was absolutely fundamental in me being able to transform my life and to actually live a life that I love. I use Reiki with every single one of my clients. Anytime anybody ever asks me, how can I change my life? I feel like the first step is always Reiki or another energy healing modality. So I use most often Lightatarian Reiki, Angel Reiki, Lavender Flame, Violet Flame, Corona Key, and Usui Reiki. But there are so many other types of Reikis that you can use out there. So get curious and explore and know that you will be guided to the right place for you. So if you're vibing with everything that we're saying here, I want you to give me a comment below to let me know that you are ready and you're fired up to take action on some of these energy clearing modalities that we've talked about. And I want you to let me know which one you're most excited about in the comments below. So if you feel a connection with me, please know that I would love to work with you. I do offer services like meditation coaching and Reiki coaching. So if some of these things have piqued your interest in a particular way, you can actually work with me on them and feel all of the beautiful benefits that I have to offer. So if that sounds like you, there is a link in the description box below to book a free call with me to get started. If you liked this video, if you got some sort of knowledge or insight, or you're really excited about this next chapter, please do like, share with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And be sure that you grab your free energy clearing meditation in the description box below as well. Thank you so much for being here. I so do appreciate it, and I wish you all the very best on your anxiety journey.